Hi guys, it's Jessica from Beyond the Wanderlust, and I'm going to bring you a editing video on some skin tones. This will help you with your seniors for maybe removing some acne, how to just get your skin tones looking really like just creamy and nice, and just increase your seniors' confidence. So we're going to zoom in here a little bit. Her skin tone's really not that bad, but for me personally, I always make sure to ask my seniors if there's anything that they do want removed, and if they don't want removed. Pay attention to your senior's skin just to make sure to see if there's any birthmarks. You'd really hate to say maybe you thought this was like a dust speck. I mean, I know it's larger. You can tell it's a mole, but just you don't want to remove anything that you know is part of your senior's natural face. So for me, I knew going in exactly what she had going on, what she wanted removed, what she didn't want removed. For me, I also have a senior questionnaire, and that could be something that you could add on there. Editing and what the senior would expect to be left on their image. So just a tip, maybe on how you could make sure that you're editing effectively for your senior. So I'm going to go ahead, duplicate my layer. Again, in the past video I talked about how to do that shortcut. Just grab your background layer, pull it straight down there, just go ahead and duplicate it. We're going to go ahead and look at, we're going to kind of take over just some general editing first before we run any smoothing processing on top of it. So I'm going to click on J. I actually need to change it. It's for the spot healing tool. I had it set on patch, which you could most definitely use patch as well. I just prefer the spot healing brush tool for me personally. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. I'm going to hit J, downsize it, and I'm just going to kind of click on those areas that I know personally I want gone. And it's okay, there's just a little bit that came in from her eyebrows there, but that's okay. You might have to click a few times around there just to kind of get it how you want it. It's not going to be as perfect as maybe if I was doing it for a real edit here, but just to kind of show you general idea. I would even go in and just there's like a little bit of a speck there in her lip that I don't like. There's a scar there, or a scab I should say. A little bit of acne or scar from acne I can tell. But again, I don't want to remove too much. Okay, so that would be a general good start. Then what I do is I come in and I do the clone S shortcut for a PC. I come up to opacity and I lower it to 50%. I'm going to lower the size of the brush a little bit, and then I'm just going to kind of brush over, not there, I'll lower it a little bit more. I'm going to brush over. Just make sure when you're grabbing tones, because like you see the light's coming in from the side of her face. These tones are going to be a lot brighter than the tones on this side. So you don't want to bring this over and come over here because it's going to look really awkward. And sometimes you really just kind of have to play around and see what works for you. So I'm going to click in here and I'm just going to kind of go over those areas that I was just looking at and I was just messing around with. Let's cover up anything you think just looks a bit odd. That looks pretty good. See, I don't like that. That's going to be kind of tricky. I might just leave that one alone. Anytime, and you can do this too with just watching the tones. Like I feel like she had a little bit of a, just a little bit of a dark part there. Just pulling that in. Another thing as well, so that I'm going to go ahead, I think I've gotten everything how I want it. Actually this eyelash here I think it's an eyelash, is bothering me. It might be a crease in the makeup. I'm going to pull that out. I don't like how it was sitting there. And I'm just going to kind of fill it back in there. There. Okay, so you can see how that just pulls out a lot of that easy stuff. I'm going to flatten that image. I want to get rid of just a little bit of the wrinkles here, just a bit of what I'm just lighting, the shadows there. So I'm going to duplicate my layer again. Keep it on S for the clone tool, 50%. Increase my brush. I'm going to click in here, Alt click, and drag. And it's just going to pull a little bit of that out. This side, typically wherever you're at, if you have a little bit of an angle going on with the hair, or sometimes it can just be tricky on the one side. So I'm actually going to back that up one more step because I want to get it exactly where I want it. There we go. I like that better. Okay, so obviously no one's face looks like this. We don't want her to look like she isn't natural, because the what you're wanting to always accomplish is it to look natural, but just a little bit more cleaned up. So bringing it down, I usually have it anywhere right around 50%. It just kind of depends. So for me, I like that. That brings out some of the shadows, makes it just look a little bit more cleaner, takes out a little bit of the wrinkles there. For me, I like that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to flatten it again. I'm going to come up here to filters, and I'm going to run portraiture. There is multiple skin smoothing services that you can buy. We actually, in one of our past action sets, had one that you could just brush on that ran really close and really similar to portraiture again, but you have to brush it on. Portraiture is just, it's just time saving. It's just, it will definitely increase your flow. So I'm going to zoom up here and you can see where it's working with. If that's too much for you, these are your default settings over here, or different, you can bump it up, you can bring it back down. I always have mine set on a new layer, output layer. You can work on current. New layer for me because it's going to bring it into a new layer over here. I can bring down the opacity of it, and also a lot of the times it pulls out of the background some of the time for like the same tones, and for me, I'm going to reverse that layer and I'm going to brush it onto her. So you can always use your eyedropper, let's say if it wasn't picking something up, and just drop around here where you need it. So then I'm going to click OK. It's going to bring you a new layer. Again, it's pulling, you can see, like here and here, it's softening those, and I don't really want it to. So I'm going to click here, I'm going to reverse that, which was clicking Alt in the layer. I'm going to come in, we have a reverse, so we need a white. I'm going to hit X to flip colors, B for brush, 100%, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to paint. I always start painting at 100%. Because then you can come over and you can lower the opacity on over there. Let's say if you decided, well, I'm going to put my brush on 20%. Okay, well, when you stop painting and you click back on again, then you've already doubled that opacity right there. So if you just start at 100% and just paint on exactly where you want it, then you can go back in and you can adjust the whole layer once you're done. Okay. I think I've gotten about everything. Okay, so then for me, I usually bring it between 70 and 80%. Again, every client is just a little bit different on how much it takes away, how much their skin really needs it. For me, that just adds just a nice glow to them. So that right there is how I would do my skin for my seniors. Hopefully this is something that will help you out in your future editing.